Welcome to Locating Supply Chain and Value Chain Insights. There are a number of sources that you can use to glean intelligence about an industry's supply chain and a company's value chain. This session is going to focus on the Explorer database, which contains both types of reports. So let's go ahead and get logged into Explorer. Once in Explorer, we're going to click on Reports at the top, and then Value and Supply Chain Analysis. To locate the reports that align with your industry, start by clicking the Refine Analysis blue button, then the sector link, and then you can expand and browse the industries, or you can keyword search. I'm going to target the automotive industry, so I'm just going to check the box for automotive and click search. Both the industry supply chain and company value chain reports for that sector will display. Notice that most of the supply chain analysis reports are global, but there are some that are have a more regional focus. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the global automotive manufacturing industry supply chain analysis report. All right, so I'm going to scroll down, and we're going to start by looking at the supply chain overview. The supply chain reports provide an overview of the industry's supply chain. They highlight the relevant stages involved, provide examples of companies active at every stage of the supply chain, from manufacturer to supplier to customers, emphasizing operations and delivery. Every report begins with a complete supply chain overview. So that's what we have right here, which identifies every stage. And then it provides key companies that are aligned with every stage. Following the overview is an analysis and discussion of each stage and timely burning issues. So for example, here's the analysis of the raw materials and the insights around current raw materials burning issues. Similarly, an analysis of component production and component production burning issues. So this is the pattern, and you'll get this level of analysis for every stage. All right, let's now take a look at a company value chain analysis report. So I'm going to go with the BMW Group report. So somewhat similar to the supply chain report, the company value chain overview starts with an overview of the process by which the company gets its products to the customer and positions itself in the market to maximize profits and user satisfaction. The report tracks primary activities, which you see here, and then the support activities, such as firm infrastructure, human resource management, technology development, and procurement. And like the supply chain reports, once you get past the overview, you then get into an analysis for every activity, and then timely burning issues for every activity. So those are the Explorer value chain and company value chain and industry supply chain reports. I now want to actually go into Google so we can see how you can use Google to conduct supply and value chain analysis in business and industry publications. All right, so here we are in Google, and what you're going to do in Google is you're going to run a search that combines your industry or company with keywords that will trigger Google to return relevant articles. So let's continue with the automotive industry. So my search strategy is a combination of my industry And then once again, we've seen this before, the keywords for industry or market, and then the trigger words that we typically use when we're trying to do supply chain research, supply chain or logistics or operations or distribution. So let's go ahead and run a search. So when we look at the results right away, I think we know that our choice of keywords have been effective. We can see that in the titles. We can also see that there are results from a variety of industry sources. First of all, here's the consulting firm white papers. Automotive Logistics is an industry publication. Let's go take a look at the next page. Kearney is actually consulting, is a consulting firm. Supply Chain Brain is an industry publication, and so is Medium. So again, reinforcing that the search strategy work. There's one other search strategy that I want to point out, and that is if you click videos at the top, you can locate timely discussions between industry analysts and company leadership about supply chain issues. So this is just another strategy you may want to employ when you're in Google. All right. So there's a few other sources in Google search strategies that I want to highlight. One is to reinforce that you should also look at market research reports. They often contain supply chain insights. If you're not familiar with how to locate the market research reports in the library databases, look at the recording, Locating Market Research Reports, to learn how to access these reports. We ran a Google search, but I want to show you one other thing you could do in Google. So this is the search. Oops. This is the search that we initially ran. But if you'll notice at the end of it, I've now added a number of business publications. So Wall Street Journal or New York Times or Forbes or Fortune or Bloomberg. This is another search strategy you can use in Google. When you are familiar with some sources and you feel somewhat confident that they may contain some useful insights, you can tell Google to bring results back just from those sources. And that's what this search will do. And here's an example of an article from Bloomberg, which was one of the sources I identified. And lastly, just a reminder about using that strategy of clicking video and looking for discussions between company and or industry leadership or experts. And in this particular search, I also added the words CEO and interview along with the industry, and then my keywords. Again, just to target the search results a little bit more. And finally, I just want to remind you that your business librarians are available to support all of your course projects throughout the semester. Reach out to us to schedule a consultation targeted for your research by emailing gbsaskalibrarian@emory.edu. Tell us about your project and include 4 to 5 dates and times. And we look forward to working with you.